Well, thanks for joining me on the call. I just want to sort of just kind of introduce myself real quick, and then we'll kind of dive into you and your backgrounds.
Mhm.
So I am the CEO of Trekeffect, which is an online travel application that lets you really buy and sell travel itineraries from travel bloggers really all over the world and other
Yeah.
savvy travelers as well. And so that's sort of the real quick overview. I myself, I've been doing travel blogging for over 10 years now. Been working on the Trek Effect blog, growing the readership, growing the customer base, and I have a background in software development. So
Okay.
I'm actually the one that has done most of the development of the platform itself. I also
hmm
do work with another team of engineers as well. But that's sort of my quick overview. I just want to hear more about you. Tell me about you and travel blogging, and is that your profession, or do you also do something else as well?
Well, I call it it's my night job because I have a day job,
Yeah.
and as soon as I get home, I usually work on the blog. So I have been working for almost 5 years in tourism, mostly business travel, and now I'm working here with the state of Luxembourg, with the government.
Okay.
So as soon as I get home in Luxembourg, and the nights are very long, it's quite, especially during winter and autumn, it's quite a dark place. But I have all the time to blog, and eventually I hope I escape and travel as much as I can to get some sun
Yeah.
and blog about it as much as possible.
Sure, sure. Yeah. Now I imagine so. Okay, so what do you do for business travel? Are you scheduling the travel events, or tell me a little bit about what your day job is like.
Well, for the travel, for the business travel, it has been that I was in charge of the groups that were coming to Spain and to Portugal, and I was creating the itineraries for them, looking for locations, restaurants, hotels, all the transfers, so
Yeah.
eventual goodies, some gifts, and yeah, that's what I've been doing.
Yeah, yeah, and just handling all those details. That's great to hear. How often do you, you know, how
Also,
often,
this also gives you like an eye for all the details of like a hotel, a
of,
restaurant. Yeah, you get like this special eye for it. I would call it.
yeah, I bet you do with doing all the research. That's
Yeah,
that's sort of the reason why we created Trek Effect was because, kind of when my wife and I, when we first started traveling, she would tell me, oh, like, you plan the trip, right? You figure all the details out. And I was like, man, this is difficult. You got like if
it
you're not,
really is
yeah,
very tricky.
if you're not experienced at it, it's really quite difficult to familiarize yourself and figure out exactly what places you're going to stay, what you're going to do, and even when you do that, it's hard to know that you're really doing the best things, or you're gonna
Yeah, and everybody has different preferences, has different needs.
exactly.
There's the foodies, the other ones that are more into culture, the other ones that are more into history. So you need to do like, especially if all the people are traveling together in a group, that's the most trickiest thing.
Oh man, that's got to be really difficult when when you're doing group travel for sure. That's great. So how often do you get to travel?
Oof, quite a lot. So at least twice per month, I do. Well, I'm based in Luxembourg. I do twice per month at least a more far away trip, which includes a flight.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I travel a lot by coach, by bus, because here in Luxembourg and this part of Europe, we have a very good public transport network.
Right.
And if I don't leave Luxembourg, which is very easy because it's such a small country, I go for hikes because we have a lot of nature here. And yeah, something that I enjoy really much.
And what are some of your best travel experiences? Has there been any place in mind that really stands out?
Yes, yes. I think there are two, which would have been Cape Verde and Trinidad and Tobago, because they have been like so different from all the things that I've been used to, and was, I wouldn't call it cultural shock, but it was very different from what you're used to see here. The food, the kindness of the people, the climate, everything was really easygoing. And when it comes to Trinidad and Tobago, they have like an incredible cultural mix.
Yeah.
Because they have like 1/3 of the population is Hindu. So you have like this Caribbean vibe. You have the Caribbean food, but there you see a Hindu temple. And so it's like very, this incredible mix, and you have the Afro-American community, and then you have still also some of the Caucasian, would you call it like this, population. It is like such a variety of cultures, and you can find all the influences in the food, in the buildings, in the music, in the festivals. So it's like a huge come together of different cultures, and that's what I liked the most about it.
Yeah, that sounds great. It definitely sounds very different than sort of what you would normally expect. And how do you go about planning these kind of trips, or and are you open to sharing those experiences with other travelers? And how do you go about doing that, and how do you share that on your blog and everything like that?
Well, when it comes to Cape Verde and Trinidad and Tobago, we hadn't planned at all to go to these places, to these countries, because we were on a trip, on a boat hitchhiking trip. So we were looking for boats to cross the Atlantic Ocean, and eventually the boat that was ready to take us went to Cape Verde. So we said, let's go to Cape Verde.
Wow.
And the same happened to Trinidad and Tobago. From Cape Verde, they said, well, we can take you, but we are going to Trinidad and Tobago. So they, okay, let's go.
Oh my gosh. Wow. That is certainly an experience. Wow. That's definitely different. Okay. Wow. How do you go about planning them for your business clients and putting those details together?
Well, a lot of research, but also for Trinidad and Cape Verde, as soon as we got more or less, as soon as we knew more or less that we would travel there, I started doing all the research, all the background research about the culture, things to visit, what is the typical food, some basic words like thank you, hello, you're welcome, all this kind of stuff. And but mostly internet.
Yeah.
And guides. Also guides, book guides, because on the boat you don't have internet. So we bought some book guides, took them on the boat, and we read them during the week.
Yeah.
While we were staying.
That's no, that makes sense. That's perfect. And what places do you want to go to next, or what are places on your bucket list?
On my bucket list, I have never been to Asia.
Yeah.
Asia is a wide field. So, and then everything which is South America, Peru, Ecuador, El Salvador, which must be amazing countries.
Yeah, I've had some friends go to Peru, and they absolutely loved it. Actually, one of the other travel bloggers I was interviewing went recently, and they had a great time. So, yeah, no, that's definitely.
They went to Peru?
Yeah, they went to Peru. It was a joint couple, and they had a blast. They absolutely loved it. So.
Oh yeah. Because you're based in the US, right?
I am. Yep. I'm in Connecticut.
Okay, cool. Never been there either.
Yeah, no, it's a small place, but, but yeah. Okay, that's great. So I got kind of a rough background, sort of from you, how you go about, kind of what your life is like in terms of your day job, and then how you transition that into blogging, and really where your passion of travel is. But, with your travel blog and readers that come to view your articles, what do you feel is their biggest concern, or at least when they travel? And what is your biggest concern when you travel?
My biggest concern, food, maybe. I really love.
What am I going to eat?
I really like food. I really want to know where to get like the most traditional, typical thing. I don't want the tourist trap. I don't want McDonald's. I don't want something else. I just really want to experience the local food and interact with people that are from this place. But when it comes to my readers, they often write me, especially about the experience in Cape Verde, because it's not a destination that is very explored as much.
Right.
So it's mostly about, is it safe? How do I get from point A to B? Do they have like a public transportation? No. How does it work? How do I pay?
Yeah.
Mostly the questions like that.
Right. No, those are usually the pretty standard ones, but sometimes I get sometimes a blogger will tell me something totally different than what I expected. And then is there any sort of general piece of advice or information for inexperienced travelers? Is there any, like, when you look at other travelers that don't or other people that don't travel as often, is there any piece of information you would want to give them so that they do travel more often? Or, because I feel like a lot of people are afraid to do it.
They are afraid to do it?
I feel like they are.
Yeah, but it's like a mindset that you have, because you're very comfortable at the place where you are right now. Okay, if you don't have the need or the wish to travel, so you have nothing to complain about. But if you really want to travel, you need to do like this first step. And often it's like just the first step that you need to do, and then the ball keeps rolling. And once you're into it, it's like, wow, there's so much to see here, and they didn't know about. So, and you want to, if you're a curious person, if you're eager to learn, I think you will love travel, and you're willing to grow as a person, as a character as well. You will love travel, because travel is like, for me, like a classroom, but outside.
Right.
Be it language, be it food, be it whatever. So, but what would I say as an advice? It would be always listen to your gut. Sometimes you say, hey, I don't know how to listen to my gut. What is my gut? But the more you travel, the more you get a sense of listening to what is right or what is wrong. I had experiences on my trips where I said, I don't know if this is right, but I did it anyways, because I said, I'm following the crowd, I don't know. And afterwards, it ended up being bad, in a bad situation. But it was my fault because I didn't listen to my gut. So what I learned about it, okay, if you have like this little feeling in your stomach, whatever it is, or this little voice talking in your head, well, listen to it, because it's there for something, for some reason.
That's great advice. That's advice that usually people try to talk more tactical about little different bloggers that I'll talk to. Mention different tips on like, oh, keep your passport here, and keep copies of your passport. Take this type of luggage. But that's kind of a different piece of advice, in the sense that it's really just about listening to yourself, and that's not something that most people really think about or really reflect on. So that's really powerful. And that was that was sort of just to wrap up the interview. I just wanted to give a quick overview of your background, how we can help other travelers, and just so the rest of our audience knows, where can they find you? What's your website? Where can they find you on social media? And just so they know how to reach out to you.
Cool. So you wanted me to tell me my website?
Yeah, just go ahead and list it out. I'm going to also provide a link in the blog post that we're going to do. But just so they, also just so they have a frame of reference from you, and also your social media handles.
Okay, great. Yeah, so my main platform is a blog, which is paulinaontheroad.com, where I mostly blog about sustainable and slow traveling. Thus, everything which is hiking, sailing, or cycling, everything which is when it comes to enjoy nature or natural landscapes in a fun but active and responsible way. And then, of course, you can find me on Instagram. I don't spend too much time on Instagram. But it's a huge inspiration. You always see something new, and it makes me want to travel all the time. So I love hanging on Instagram. Of course, Pinterest and Facebook.
Perfect. All right. Well, that's great. Thank you.